So I've been seeing some tier list videos pop up for Crossing Void, and this is something that I feel like I should talk about. So my channel could grow a lot faster if I just made one tier list video. However, I feel that it wouldn't be very fair to the viewers who want to learn something about the game, nor would it be something that I would really want from the game. It's kind of weird to say that, but you'll understand what I'm talking about soon. I'm going to be going through several different topics about a tier list, and timestamps are either going to be in the description or in the table of contents at the start of the video. Also, I have an announcement at the end. It's mainly going to talk about my schedule for both YouTube and streaming, so if you guys are interested in that, please check that out. Um, Thank you. So many of these tier lists were made uh, within the first week or two of the game. And one of the big problems that happens when you try to make a list like this at the start of the game is that there's very highly inaccurate tiering due to this. One of the biggest examples that we had recently was Yuki. So she was listed as one of the worst statted units, and it turns out after you mine out some of her stat growths, she's probably A tier just off of stats alone, and many people had her ranked as like one of the worst characters. Um, and we have some other issues. So we can't really data mine SEA and China because it seems like there are some changes to stats, especially if you look at someone like Yukina or Yuki, sorry. And we don't know where new characters will fit in just yet. Yeah, sure, we can just look at SEA, but changes seem like they're possibly made, and I feel like these people are just working off of imperfect information because not everything's out there just yet. So the second point that I wanted to make when it comes to these tier lists is how these tier lists aren't truly defining of what a character does in the game. So many of these tier lists are based off of one singular stat, which for the most part is DPS. However, once you get towards the end of the game and once you reach certain parts of the game, like right now in challenge mode, it's pretty difficult to go through it with only DPSs. You can't realistically rank characters and try to make a general tier list when you're only ranking them off of one stat. It makes it very difficult because in many different games, even in this one, many units fill different roles, and those roles are important depending on what you need at the moment. And many team compositions can be built very differently. So I feel like it's very difficult to do that. Currently, some tier lists are defined just off of DPS, some are attempt to make tier lists based off of usability, and most of them only fill one ranking, which doesn't make sense for a new player. And I feel that it objectively isn't fair to make a tier list like that unless you're saying that it's specifically a DPS tier list or it's specifically a supportive tier list or anything like that. And it seems very troubling that these people are willing to put a tier list out there and make it seem like a general tier list. I also wanted to explain what most of these tier lists won't be able to tell you. So the thing is many people have only specific characters right now in the game, especially at the start. Not everyone has every single character. Not everyone has every single character at the very least A ranked, which is usually the starting point of which like you want to use a character. Somewhere around like A, maybe B is usable, but A is just the starting point where a character is like almost statted up. So a lot of these tier lists won't tell you like how will a character fit into my team composition? Will this character fit into my team composition? Currently, obviously Shana is the best DPS in the game, but is that what you need when you're looking for a turtle composition? Um, it also doesn't tell you how to use said unit. Like you can't use Shana in the challenge modes currently. Again, is the unit easy or hard to use? Is the unit good in PvP? Because surprisingly in PvP, tanks aren't terrible. Actually, in Burst Link, they are very, very good since there's only set stats to be able to use in Burst Link mode. Um, for example, I made a Burst Link run last week ish, where I pretty much ran Silveria, and Silveria was my hard carry throughout that whole process. Actually, even more than my Shana. Um, it doesn't tell you if a unit's good in all modes, which is a big problem because like a lot of people are taking these general tier lists and saying this character is definitely good everywhere. So use them as much as you can. So, anyways, there's a lot of information to divulge in this game that can't be said through a tier list, nor will they ever be said through a tier list unless someone made a super long tier, like a couple hours tier list talking about every single variable that could go on in a game. and that's why I don't want to work on one. And that's why I want to focus on specific characters rather than going through the process of making a tier list for the sake of growth and for the sake of knowledge when it comes to this game. And another example of that would be crosses. Currently, when it comes to crosses, a lot of people expect crosses to always be a defining factor on whether a character is good or not. However, there's characters who don't need crosses, like Shana, which inevitably makes them better. And there's characters that could use crosses, and once they have those crosses, they become far more powerful, say, like Alice. And how would you rank the difference between those crosses when some of these characters with crosses become god tier in terms of damage, and without crosses they're still good damage, and it becomes very hard to define the lines between what makes a character truly better than others, and you can't make a tier list based off of, in this situation with this character only, this character is definitely better than this one. And sure, you can still rank Shauna higher than Alice, but since Alice can be applied in more places, um, and with a Kirito cross, she does more damage than Shauna. Doesn't that make Alice better than Shauna? Or does that still make Shauna better than Alice because she needs less resources? And from that, there's just too much information to divulge. So, anyways, with that, I'm going to be making more and more character spotlights, just like I did for Alice. Um, yeah, so I hope you guys will stick with me. This week, I will be doing Shauna. I didn't do it last week because I was busy with something else, and I was kind of hesitant due to the developer drama. If you guys want me to talk about it, that's going to be a whole separate video, so just let me know. So, anyways, I hope you guys will see me on Friday for the Shauna guide, and stick around for the announcement. All right, so I have made a Twitch and YouTube schedule that will mostly coincide with each other. So, my upload dates for YouTube will be Monday night around 9 p.m. EST, and on Friday around noon EST. If I upload for a third day of the week, whether that be content for this game that I just happen to have, a highlight, or content for another game that I happen to have, then that will be uploaded on Wednesday at noon EST. So let me know what you guys want for the third video week. Maybe it could be another game that I play or something. You never know. And on twitch.tv, if you guys are looking for a place to find a Crossing Void streamer or anything like that, or you guys want to ask questions, hang out with me, I will be streaming 6 days a week. So I will usually be streaming either at night or in the daytime. If so, on Monday I will be streaming at 9 p.m. EST. Wednesday I will be streaming at noon EST. Thursday I will be streaming at 9 p.m. EST. Friday I will be streaming at noon EST. Saturday I will be streaming at noon EST. And on Sunday I will be streaming at 9 p.m. EST. Most of these times do not have a end time because usually if my stream goes off pretty well, then I will just jump into another game or spend more energy or something like that, or just figure out something that I can do longer with Crossing Void or jump into another game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on Friday.